Legendary investor Paul Tudor Jones told us yesterday that he's worried about the federal deficit and the increasing spending promised by both presidential candidates.
Will we have a Minsky moment here in the United States and U.S. debt markets? Will we have a Minsky moment where all of a sudden there's a point of recognition that what's going to happen or what they're talking about is actually fiscally impossible, financially impossible?
Just right now with some insight on how CEOs see the debt problem, former EY CEO Mark Weinberger. Good morning to you. I'll ask it directly just how I sort of set it up there. How much do you think CEOs in America genuinely care about this issue?
Well, Andrew, it's a huge issue, and CEOs care about it. As you know, I used to lead the Tax and Fiscal Policy Committee at the Business Roundtable, and how the deficit and the national debt unfold will have a direct impact not only on our companies, but certainly employees. I listened to your banter earlier today, not so much the healthcare, Becky's issues, but on the debt and the deficit. And there's so much to talk about. I wish we had more time. But first of all, it is a spending problem, the position we're in today and where it's projected to go, not a tax problem. Doesn't mean we don't have to raise taxes. I'm not saying that. If we can't cut our spending, we are going to have to raise taxes. But we have averaged 18% of GDP in taxes through all the ups and downs of the tax changes over the last 30 years. And the projection for CBO over the next 10 years is still 18% of GDP we're going to collect in taxes. We have had a 21% of GDP spending. It's now 23%. The difference is the deficit. And it's projected to go to 25%. So really, it is a spending problem. But again, if we don't have the courage politically to deal with those issues, it's not investment spending.
Let me ask you, Mark. Let me ask you, if you don't believe, there's two pieces here. One is you said that it's a spending problem. And by the way, I don't think a lot of people will disagree that we probably have to spend less or at least figure out what we're doing on the growth of the spending. The question, and then you said, well, if it's a spending problem, some people look at that and go, well, then it's not a tax problem. But you seem to suggest maybe it is a tax problem, too, or not.
Well, I'm saying that interest on the debt is like a tax. It's a deferred tax increase. And it has a huge effect on us. It has inflationary aspects. And so I do think if we won't cut spending, we have to raise taxes. It's one or the other or both. It will probably be both.
Probably both. OK, so let's talk about the spending piece of it. What would you cut? We're making you a politician for the day here. A CEO who wants to cut. Meaningfully, by the way, not just around the edges.
No, well, there's only one place to go. 75 cents on every single dollar that the federal government gets, it spends on transfer payments and interest on the debt. There's only 25 cents left for spending on everything else. 12 is defense. You're not going to cut there. The other 12 is everything we think of to grow this country, which is education, research, infrastructure. You're not going to cut there. You have to figure out a way over the longer term to deal with the transfer payments, which are not investments in the future and don't even pay for the infrastructure we have to fix. So that is the politically tough issue. But when I led President Clinton's Entitlement and Tax Reform Commission, we put out a whole host of options, increasing the retirement age, mean testing some of these programs that are transfer payments, dealing with the high cost of medical care, a number of issues like that. That's where you have to go.
Clinton did it. We've lost all those hard-fought progress that you made, Mark, somehow. All that reform that a Democrat actually orchestrated. And we're almost back to where we've lost it all at this point.
Well, listen, we have more people who are elderly, and the cost of health care is going up. It's a fact.
There's demographics,
And so it's demographics, and it's the cost of health care, frankly. On the tax side, though, in all honesty, the other thing that I wanted to raise, from a tax perspective, we do only collect 7% of our taxes from the business income. You guys were talking about that earlier. A great reason for that. Every economist will tell you that is the least efficient tax there is. And, of course, it's paid by either consumers, buyers, of the products, or employee labor, or shareholders, one or the other. So it is a tax ultimately on individuals. But the reason that's so low, Andrew, when you talked about it, a lot of our income in business comes in pass-throughs and private companies, which other countries don't have. That's not added in the comparison. It is true we tax income and profits much more relative to other countries than they do because they have value-added taxes and we don't.
Right.
We actually have the most progressive tax system in the world, too, for that reason, even though people don't think about it that way.